today we have another special guest. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you go to school and what your job is and a little bit about your time on Yearbook.
My name's Kali. I go to Patrick Henry High School in San Diego, California, and I am a junior. This year I am the current editor-in-chief of my Henry Yearbook, and I have been an editor-in-chief for 2 years. I also was in that position my sophomore year, and then my freshman year I started off on staff for a majority of the year, and then towards the end of the year, coincidentally, once COVID hit, I transferred up to an editor.
Oh my goodness. So you were editor-in-chief your sophomore year?
Yes.
Okay, that's like a big deal. Clearly, you got it going on. That's awesome. So what made you want to do Yearbook in the first place?
Yearbook actually wasn't my first choice. I'm very glad that I'm in there now, but I did Yearbook in middle school, and it was a very fun experience, but I did not anticipate that I was going to be moving into that in high school. And I actually applied to be in art, but something with my electives got messed up, and they kind of threw me into a random elective, and they were like, we can put you in Yearbook. And my mom was actually the editor-in-chief of her Yearbook high school, so she was kind of encouraging me, saying, yes, you should totally take Yearbook, it's such a fun class. And so kind of took a little leap, and I was like, sure, you know what, I'll do Yearbook. So I did Yearbook my freshman year, just kind of impromptu, just happened to get put in that class. But then like about halfway through the year, when things kind of started picking up and, we had deadlines to meet, I started kind of being like, hey, I actually really like the process of putting a book together, and journalism and like designing and all of those different aspects that Yearbook takes. And I've kind of got myself stuck in it. So I'm still going strong.
I love that. I also love that your mom did Yearbook too. It's like a generational thing. You can bond over it.
Yes.
That's awesome. So clearly, like, what got you hooked is you liked all of these little pieces and parts that came together. So I have an unhealthy obsession with Yearbook. I love Yearbook so much, and I love to preach the value of it. And it sounds like you appreciate the value and the importance of a yearbook as well. So can you tell me why it's not just important to you, but important to everyone?
Yeah, I really see Yearbook as like a way to give students a voice and to kind of give our school a voice in a way. I think especially from like an editor position, not necessarily that you can't see it from just a reader or a staff position, but like as someone who's seen the whole process of a book going together, I have heard so many new opinions and so many different voices on campus. And when I look through our old yearbooks and I'm reading all of these people, you don't necessarily realize how much of an impact like the community has on a yearbook. And I think the fact that I'm in the class and that I can kind of acknowledge that made a yearbook so much more special, because I think that there's always going to be those kids that just flip through it. They don't read the copy and they don't read the captions. But I think that there's value in those captions, and there's value in the byline. Who wrote it? Maybe that student, like, they didn't like golf before, but now they do because of Yearbook. And all of kind of the little details that you kind of remember based off of your experience with it. And as a reader, you get to see, like, I didn't even know my school had this club, or I didn't know that this student was president of this like group of students at school. And it kind of like highlights certain aspects that you don't see, because everyone has their own little cliques and nobody really sees like the entire school as a whole like a yearbook does.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think giving students a voice is crucial, especially in today's day and age. And especially, I mean, most of your yearbook career has been amidst COVID, and everyone is so isolated. So the fact that you can still bring them together in this book and record the year and give these students a voice who maybe have only interacted with each other through a computer screen. So that's really, really awesome. do you have big plans for your senior year on yearbook staff? Are you gonna like go crazy or?
I've definitely throughout this year been thinking of ways that we can make it better next year, not necessarily just because I'm a senior, but just as a whole.
Always.
I think it'll be really nice because obviously everyone wants their book to be like amazing their senior year. So hopefully that pushes the book to be extra good next year. But I have some ideas.
That's awesome. And what about after graduation? Do you love it so much you think it might be something that you do after you graduate high school?
It's hard to say. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure of what I'm planning on doing in college. I don't really have an idea yet. I definitely find I like journalism a lot. I think that the reason that I like Yearbook so much, especially as an editor, is because I enjoy being like a teacher type of person. My whole life I've wanted to be a teacher because my mom's a teacher. And whether or not that kind of like passion has faded out as I've gotten older, I think that I really enjoy being in that position where I can like talk to people and experience kind of a leadership role. So I think in that aspect, doing something like teaching or some aspect of journalism or design, I would be interested in. But as a whole, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet.
That's okay. You worry about the rest of your junior year and your senior year, and then we'll worry about that.
Right.
Okay, well, this is the one question that I've been asking all of our guests is, what is the number one most important takeaway to you from your time on Yearbook, not only in high school, but you did it in middle school too?
Mm-hmm. I would say not necessarily like a single takeaway, but I think that Yearbook made me see like our school and just like the school community and even the Yearbook community in like a completely different way. And I got to experience so many new things. And we actually have a lot of new Yearbook students on staff who said like, I just transferred to this school and Yearbook was the best option I could have done because I know everything about the school now. Like I've in person gotten to have contact with all of these students and all of these staff members, and I've gotten to talk to people and watch sports games that I would have never been interested in. And I think that Yearbook kind of puts you past your comfort zone. I'm not one to choose to talk in front of people or choose to go out on interviews, but you know, through Yearbook, I've gotten to talk to a lot of really cool students and a lot of really cool staff members. And even like representatives from our Yearbook company and other schools. So I think that the value of kind of Yearbook and the number one thing that I've taken away from it is that it really changes the way that you respect your community and the way that you respect your school, and that you kind of notice different things about your campus and the students in it, and you're kind of more aware of all of like the little aspects that I think everybody overlooks, but Yearbook kind of makes them very relevant and like kind of obvious in a way.
And captures them forever.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a great takeaway. Well, I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us, but I think you have a lot of really great passion, and I know that that'll spill over. And I think when someone is passionate about something, anything, but especially Yearbook, it kind of gets on you a little bit, you know, like you can just, it's contagious. And I am so glad that you love Yearbook so much, and I know that you're going to help ignite a passion in many other students and editors as well. So thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me.